Remember me? Let's go!
In 1985, all the Hollywood stars came to premiere one of the greatest movies ever made, a film that was the directing debut of Tim Burton, scored by Danny Elfman, and was co-written by legendary comedian Phil Hartman. And it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes, sir. That was the worst accident I ever seen.
From Large Marge to the Alamo to all the crazy characters.
Francis!
Andy!
Andy!
But mainly just the man himself, Paul Reubens as pop icon Pee Wee Herman. Before his Playhouse days, Paul took his Pee Wee character to nightclubs and eventually to a full stage show that caught the eye of Warner Brothers. In fact, most of Hollywood knew who he was before Big Adventure because of this show, which if you haven't seen yet live from the Roxy, or even his return in 2010 on Broadway on HBO, both are fantastic shows.
While the fat heats up to scalding, let's prepare the onions by slicing them into rings.
Can I help you out, Pee-wee?
Oh, thank you, Shammo, thank you. Wow, you really do come in handy, Shammo.
After getting the green light from Warner Brothers, Reubens, not Warner Brothers, chose Tim Burton to direct Pee-wee's Big Adventure after seeing his short films Vincent and Frankie Weenie. Burton had previously worked as a Disney animator and had little experience in directing. However, Reubens supported him despite this, and they worked together on this movie that launched their careers. With the help from the man who helped Paul actually come up with Pee-wee originally from the stage show, Captain Carl himself, Phil Hartman.
There's going to be a whole bunch of things we don't tell Mrs. Clinton. Fast food is the least of our worries, okay, buddy?
The only reason that movie got made was because Paul Reubens worked diligently traveling around the country and performing his stand-up routine. And he invited me to join him in writing his first feature film, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And it was very much a turning point for me. It was my first big success.
Now, the movie needed some music, and if you've seen the movie, you know Danny Elfman's score is fundamental to Big Adventure. Can you believe this piece of music is used just for a breakfast scene? It's easily one of my top 5 favorite scores in a movie ever, and Tim Burton actually had to convince him to do it.
It was weird. Before I ever even thought of or had the opportunity to even think that I'd be making films, I used to go see his band, this band called Oingo Boingo in nightclubs in LA. Just I was always struck by the very theatrical nature of their music, and it was just, and so we kind of both started together. It was kind of, it connected us really because, he didn't know what he was doing, I didn't know what I was doing, and so we felt very closely, and it was amazing to see him dealing with an orchestra for the first time, and also, we've had a strong sort of bond ever since.
I love how his music is fused into some of these scenes, like when he's knocking on Francis's door or the little bike ride through the park. And of course, the movie wouldn't be complete without co-stars like E.G. Daily as Dottie, whom you might recognize as the voice of Tommy Pickles.
If I'm not mistaken, you did Dill Pickles, is that right?
I did Tommy Pickles. Get your babies right.
And Mark Holton as Francis Buxton, who I also know from the original and 2018 Leprechaun movies.
You must be one of the girls. Fixing up the old house way out there from campus.
You know about that?
Small town.
The biker bar scene where Pee-wee goes from shushing the bikers to getting kicked out to knocking over the deadly biker gang's bikes, doing the original dance-off to win the friendship of the bikers, and is actually given his own motorcycle only to immediately crash into a sign. That entire scene just for that, which leads into this great transition shot of the bikers riding along with the ambulance. So good. Godzilla, Santa Claus, surfers, Tarzan taking a smoke break, and Twisted Sister. The studio chase might be the most famous scene from the movie and has been parodied or copied like crazy. The scene starts immediately with a cameo from Milton Berle.
All I know that when I get an erection, I black out.
And then more cameos from the Pee Wee Herman Show, John Paragon, who plays Jambi, and Mother Supreme, who is Miss Yvonne. And remember the kid? It's Kid from Show. No, that's Wayne from Wonder Years.
Butthead. Nice going, Butthead. Nice going, Butthead. Hey, look. It's Butthead.
You sold a lot of magazine subscriptions to earn that bike.
But I want to give, sister. I have just received the 2 best parents a boy could ever hope for.
Oh, Rusty, you are an inspiration to us all.
I'll say, I'm going to start a paper route right now.
The chase starts with Danny Elfman hitting us with some Wizard of Oz nostalgia. Another example of why this score is so amazing.
Oh, disgust!
All right, let's see some of the reviews.
Okay, yeah, look, this is the Hollywood Reporter. That's a big, trade industry paper. It says, this is the first sentence of the review. Pee-wee's Big Adventure isn't just the funniest movie of the year, it's one of the funniest movies ever!
I looked at Pee-wee's Big Adventure again the other night on video, and I was surprised all over again by how innocent, how playful, and how truly eccentric Pee-wee Herman really is. But the movie is not just a strange little man acting goofy. Pee-wee has created a whole fairy tale universe as consistent and fascinating as Alice's Wonderland or the world of the Hobbits and the Lord of the Rings. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of those movies like The Wizard of Oz, I think, that kids can look at in one state of mind while the grown-ups enjoy it on a completely different level.
But look, 4-star rating.
Highest rating. What did that say? Let me see that.
Yeah.
Highest rating. A delight. I like this movie so well that I've seen it twice. So on and so forth. Boy, that's very impressive.
Yeah, that's my dad's review.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure is highly rated and currently has an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. It made $40 million on its $7 million budget, which is a lesson many current movies could learn from. Following the success of making $33 million, Paul Reubens signed a development deal with Paramount and went on to make Big Top Pee-wee, only this time losing money, with a balloon budget of $20 million compared to Big Adventure 7. And with only making $15 million of it back, it was deemed a financial failure, as well as reviewed poorly by critics.
I mean, this circus, if you think of the characters in Pee-wee's Big Adventure or on the television show, none of them have any real connection with reality at all. There are clocks that talk and beds that seem alive and animals and so forth. The circus people seem to be real circus people.
Absolutely.
The townspeople.
Dull circus people.
Yeah, the townspeople who are always mad at everybody seem to be real townspeople.
Dull townspeople.
Pee-wee doesn't seem to belong in this world.
The missing links are obviously Phil Hartman and Tim Burton. Big Top isn't bad if you like Pee-wee, but it's easily my least favorite of the trilogy. I would have loved to have seen Dottie or really anyone from the Crazy Adventure in the first film, but instead we get Chris Christopherson. We still get some funny gags.
Oh, Winnie.
Oh, the children! The children!
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
And Danny Elfman rips a pretty good circus score, but overall it's not in the same ballpark as the first movie. Pee-wee did get another chance at a featured film in Big Holiday, and I think it's miles better than Big Top. Paul might have passed away, but we will always have hours upon hours of classic Pee-wee Herman, and it doesn't get any better than Pee-wee's Big Adventure. If you enjoy videos on movies and TV, please consider subscribing to the channel, and as always, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching the video.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
How's it going?